I don't know much about Shakespeare, but I went with Adrienne and Mark to see Jonah's performance in a Shakespeare play. Don't remember which one. The performances were great, but I was only half watching the play because I was watching Adrienne out of the corners of my eyes. I was struck by the absolute happiness on her face. I'd never seen her so happy. I kept looking to see if it faded, but it never did. After the play, she asked me, not in an unpleasant way, why I had been watching her. I was embarrassed, thinking my glances had been unseen. I told her the truth. I couldn't stop looking at the joy on her face. Her eyes softened and she said, "Thank you for saying that. I was very, very happy." Then she gave me one of those Adrienne hugs. Hugs that were never superficial but held you and made you know you were genuinely connecting with someone. Another human on this planet. I'm very grateful for those Adrienne hugs. I first met Adrienne when I worked across the street from Crystal Essence at Decades, one or two part-time jobs. I had small talk with Adrienne in the store, but didn't know her. One morning I was fired from the first job, then went to Decades to add and depressed. Minutes later, Adrienne walked in, came straight up to me and asked me if I'd like to work at Crystal Essence. I was shocked, since nobody knew I'd been fired, and an almost stranger was offering me a new job. Despite knowing nothing about crystals, etc., I said yes, mostly based on her forceful presence. Years later, she told me she'd seen me through the Crystal Essence window, and something told her, "Go ask him to work for you." I'm glad she did. I worked at Crystal Essence for 4 years, which was appropriate because I learned so much in that time, in education, in being human. I was initially confused by this woman who talked about her intimacies, fears, and challenges, all without shame. She was the first person who showed me it's okay. Life is okay. I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. We'd sit and talk for hours, sharing our lives with each other. I told her things I'd never before spoken to anyone, and she listened. I began to learn that though many of us have had difficult pasts, we are not doomed to have difficult futures. We can look our past directly in the eye and say with love, "No more. Now I choose happiness." Adrienne chose happiness. I remember dancing with Adrienne at Jonah's wedding. It was a silly, joyous, free-spirited dance like I hadn't danced in ages. Writing this, I'm smiling because I can see her so clearly, like she's in front of me right now. Maybe she is. And maybe she's giving us one of her Adrienne hugs. Delano Burrowes.